Here now with Coach Potter. Obviously a very, very tough game for you guys. But, you know, you were able to pull it off in the overtime. But I did want to ask, like, after what we saw from FUT yesterday, dismantling T1 on Pearl, I was actually pretty shocked you guys went for it. Was it just because you felt so comfortable with the map, or was there something you saw from FUT that you potentially wanted to try and take advantage of?
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't so much about FUT, it was more so for our comfort. Yesterday, our defense looked flawless. We felt like our attack, we made our own mistakes, right? So coming into today, we thought surely our attack side would be much better and much stronger than it was. Unfortunately, you know, FUT, they did a fantastic job. They had a lot of info. That KO knife timing that they were doing on us was really throwing a lot of curveballs our way. It's unfortunate, but you know, we were able to close it out. Bind, we've got something special cooked up on Bind.
Okay, all right, Miha, I like that. Back to you guys over at the desk.
Full of confidence, as always, there from Potter. I'm Yingsu. I'm back here on the desk with Bola and Doug. You know, it got a little bit close there towards the end. They really made EG work for it.
Yeah, I thought FUT were going to be blessed with the 3-9 score, and that was going to happen. But yeah, we were just trolled. It was all a waste of time, unfortunately. But Doug, I mean, Boostio's the truth. Man, he's filling into the villain role so well, where he's got like half of the community that hates him, the other half that loves him right now because of what he's been saying. But when he's performing like that on stage, like, yeah, it's so easy to get invested in his run in the way that he's playing. He probably saved that map in a lot of ways for EG.
That's twice now that the guys saved him in OT against FUT too. Like, yeah, I mean, it's a spark. I really want to give flowers to Ethan for that game. I know Mitch and Tom were rightfully giving credit to Calm, but there's a couple rounds that I want to show that are really, really good from Ethan, where in my mind started the catalyst for that 9-3 half, why it was so good on defense. So look at this round here. This is round 3, where he's coming back into B side after they've lost it. He knifes, gets 4 people, runs straight through a molly, and gets a kill here on the backside of this. And then what he does immediately is really, really good. Instantly, there's a smoke coming down from Jogomo, and he's nading inside of this. And then he follows up with, you know, the ability to stay backside, stay alive for as long as possible. And here's where he's trying to get mollied out. This is actually for FUT to come in from the backside, buy him some time, and start a pinch on him. But what he does is he flashes into that smoke you just saw right as that happened, and then Maj is swinging on him, but he isolated the fight. Now you're seeing what everybody in the community has been talking about, the amount of assist and the amount of value he's giving towards his teammates here. He's setting up Jogomo in this A main push, and what I want to show is Jogomo getting the first kill, but the follow-up here, as Jogomo stays alive on the backside of this and gets 2 kills, you get another flash coming in from Ethan that is just perfectly timed, because the FUT players that are running through this, look at him. He's trying to dodge a flash right now that has not popped yet, and Jogomo is perfectly timed to swing in this. He's going to get blind, but he also gets the kill. These are the moments that I just love when I'm watching Ethan. It's so consistent. Yeah, it's a little bit hectic throwing that flash, but that's the value when there's a threat like that of these flashes consistently with KO that you don't see from other KOs who are playing this role so often.
I'm glad you mentioned the assist thing. We have some stats here. That map alone, 23 assists. That's more than what some people get in kills. Actually coming into this event, Doug, he was leading in average assists per round and also just assists in general. He's had the most assists out of everyone else at this tournament.
Yeah, Ethan's a bad dude, man. And I think the fun thing about an initiator role in particular is a mid-initiator can just kind of go by the wayside. You don't really talk about it. But an excellent initiator, like some of the best in the world, I think about Leo, I think about Crashies, I think about Ethan in that conversation as well. They stand out in such massive ways, and it's those little things like that lower flash that you were talking about in your last clip, Bala. Those are such a big difference maker. They don't always show up on stats. They don't always even come to fruition. But the value that they offer is just unreal.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, it doesn't show up in the kills or anything like that, but there are some minor things. 0.8 assists per round is just crazy. I mean, you're talking 0.4 over an event for a really top tier like controller or initiator. That's the sort of thing that he just eclipsed at. And that's why players like Nismo and others are trying to give him credit, because it's stuff that you can't see. It's stuff in the back lines. but he also can frag too. I mean, he showed up on LAN again here in my mind.
I mean, we're going to move on to Bind next. I want to see a Boostio Reina. I don't know how you two feel about this, but I think that's just what we're missing right now, Doug. The vibes, you know, we got to get some Reina in there.
Oh, I think the vibes were great after they won that map, but I don't think they're to the point where they're going to pull out the Reina in the chamber again. I think they're going to have something different. I mean, Potter talked about it in the interview when she was chatting with GB. Like, they have something prepared, they have something ready to go, and I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be that, though.
I mean, I would be down for it.
I think for me, the read on that grand finals where they played Fnatic on Bind after banning it throughout Tokyo was definitely that was something that they were trying to prep, bringing in that Chamber of the Reina. But I don't think after watching it, it's going to stick around. I mean, granted, I actually think Reina's not that bad when you have a player like Team 1, but I don't know, when I see Boostio playing the Sentinel role and doing what he's doing, I kind of feel like you got to stick with what has been working and not switch things up so drastically. I want to see them go a little bit more standard.
Well, the chamber I think is fine. I'd love to see the chamber. I think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe a Yoru at the Reina, I don't know.
Well, here is the Prime Gaming agents. So, like, they've kept the chamber. They have moved away, however, from the Reina. What do you guys make of this?
This is like that fracture switch, right? Where Boostio goes and plays the Brim. He's quite good at it, but obviously it's not the Jet. And he didn't have that same performance, so I don't mind at all. It's not like anything. Jogmo's really good at Raze, and on maps that he does play that Raze, it's insane. For example, Split. It's so good.
I think one thing very quickly we didn't really touch on this is the fact that FUT almost pulled that thing off, right? Like, and it was off of Heroics. I think about Krax's 2K and how good he was in that sheriff. That almost converted into a third, if not for Comms Heroics. Like, this FUT team is a team that looked very good, and a couple of things go a different way. We're having an entirely different conversation. I expect that to be a lot of the same here on Bind.
I just hope the mental is high, because when they've been one map down in a best of 3, they've only ever won it once, and that was against Attacking Soul Esports back at Tokyo. It's going to be very different.
This didn't feel like the same, you know, in the first matchup between these two teams where FUT, you know, lost a big lead and then the mental collapsed. I don't think that was that at all. This was them actually being resilient, so I don't expect the same second map. I actually really think that this is going to be a tight game.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. Again, I think they showed plenty of promise. I think, again, it could have been a very different situation. They showed so much on Pearl. So given what we know about the fact that EG don't normally play Bind, given that it's a new comp that we're going to be seeing them debuting, there's a chance it's something fun here.
Well, let's just see how resilient this FUT team can be, because if they don't win this map, EG will be locking in a place at playoffs. I can't wait to see this. Over to you, Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Yinsu, Doug, and Bala. Well, as we get into Bind, expecting some flair from the side of EG, Tom. Coming hot off the win in the previous map. You think they're going to take this in 2?
Ooh, I don't know. I think it's definitely going to be like a competitive matchup. I don't think the comp they played last time was something I really expected to ever see again, but I do like the fact that they've kept the chamber. I think it gives Demon One those sort of opportunities to be that little bit more aggressive on that defensive side. That's exactly where they're going to be kicking things off. And, well, for the other side of FUT, as said, they showed resilience in that first map. I want to see if they've still got it here. Have they been able to reset going into their choice? It's definitely where they're favored.
Well, Flash going down deep to start it up. We've already got the barriers up and a fight about to come through. Jogamo, although we'll give up that control. Start to slowly fall back towards the A site. Stacked up as it is, though. I think it's fair to say FUT are leaning in towards the very site that EG want them to hit. Very, very close, just on the edge of that smoke. Boostio, though, has managed to sneak right by them, and he'll obliterate from behind on short. 3 kills and 2 players left in the bathroom. The spike down in the open, and this round already in the hands of EG. Look at the repositioning from Calm. I think he might just rob away the potential for that ace to come through. Oh, he's missed the shot, though. Maybe a chance. I don't want to see him get the kill. I want to see Boostio go for the fight, but Calm's being pressured. He won't give up his life for the ace.
A captain. He's going up against a full lineup of players. He's not going to get anything done there. It's going to be EG to take themselves the pistol round. And again, it seems like Boostio is so good at positioning himself ready for whatever is planned. Like, the whole idea there is to pop flash straight through the smoke, using that KO to basically garner you that extra space. So he just plays close to that utility, avoids any flash, and just has a perfect backstab on the players of FUT. Pistol round going their way. A good start to the defensive side again, where we kind of expect the majority of rounds to come through for either of these sides. And for now, at least. Early pop flash. I like it. The pop flash through in towards showers. Try and find any early aggression. Instead, it's going to be in towards lamps. This is just classics though, Mitch. Like, realistically, any damage here is a win.
Yeah, that's why you see the utility thrown out, just trying to push these players into an uncomfortable fight. Or even make them go down to the util alone. Oh, no, there it is. The nade with the double. Serious damage done. That pretty much neuters any possibility for these weaker weapons on foot. EG with a solid follow-up. They could have afforded to even lose a player here pretty comfortably, but not even a hope.
Oh, I like these sort of maps. This is where you get to see Jorgamo kind of move away from that controller and pick up that raise. As we see on the likes of Split, he can have a little bit more fun, be that a little bit more aggressive. And already getting off to a flyer of the start. Not too many ultimates online, and you look at the weaponry, it's actually quite light going in for EG. You can already see Demon 1 with enough to buy an operator into the next round, but this time out, they haven't opted for it. Actually, just sprinting straight down. I don't know how they managed to win this early fight with the weaker weaponry, but they're going to be very happy with that one.
Poison's off.
See how much Jorgamo can get done. Oh, he's gone out wide. Nade up top. It's bouncing back, and, well, it's not even playing a role in that. Somehow the Stinger wins out the fight, and EG are looking phenomenal in a round that they should have been able to do some damage in, and instead they're in a 4 versus 1. An ambitious play from Jorgamo, and it works out because he left Maj on 20 or so HP. A third round found for Evil Geniuses, and a start to this map similar to what we saw on Pearl.
Yeah, the differences with Pearl, though, is that they took a risk. They bought an operator up. Yeah. They used their extra finances to basically make that round much more viable. This time they didn't. They had a pistol. They still had a Stinger. They just went pushing all the way down in towards the fountain and won 2 fights that, well, I don't know how they managed to take that victory with a couple of players waiting. It's got to be frustrating for FUT, and while they've witnessed the Guardian on the other side, it seems Maj has some ideas of his own. Jorgamo, however, is already going to take a lot of early space and do a little bit of damage through. Oh, not again.
Of course, Boostio up close, and the flash doesn't even catch him. And the spam's good enough to take one down. Then look who steps up, and look who steps back down. Boostio very quickly dealt with.
Ooh.
The spike's in the open, can be defended. That push up from Maj, the one weapon they have to work with now. A few more on their hands potentially, but Ethan through the teleporter he goes, and the reward is tenfold. They know where Maj is, and the Seeker only confirms it even further, locking him into a box. 8 bullets left in that magazine. We look to reload it. Well, he's going to have to fairly soon. Snakebite out, player caught, but no punish. And all the while, it's a slow flank from Demon 1, biding his time. With the spike picked up, Maj will look to go elsewhere, but look who's there.
No, it's Ethan. It's Ethan. It's the player he knew was there all along. Another big round from it. I do feel like that is just the way that Ethan plays. It's like when they need a hero, he arises, because the start of the round was great for FUT. Able to win a lot of those early duels. I think you see the confidence coming through from Boostio, attempting to try and push through that smoke. Again, like we've already seen FUT manage to bring back a huge deficit, but...
All right, then. Look, I mean, they're happy enough with a 4-0 lead after the third round going their way. Even with the economic damage they just received, it's not enough to really deter them, to really put a dent in this side. And as we can see, operator in play. Demon 1 has a TP set up and looks to use it for an early pick. No opportunities given yet, but if Maj wants to cross back, well, it depends. Demon 1's giving up the angle.
So they've used the knife early in towards B long, maybe expecting that that's where he'll be. And that knife not finding him, while the bullet landing in Maj's head will instead give them that information. It seems like FUT had an idea of how to counter him, just guessed the wrong place.
A lot of utility put out here. I think they're certainly getting the read on this B-side play on the way through. It's going to be ignored as Kiwi makes it to the site. A flank attempted around through elbow that's being caught. Jogamo.
What?
Showstopper got nothing, but the rifle gets 2, and the nade would have been enough to close it. Yeah, got to step away from his own nade at the end. 5 rounds in all. EG barely breaking a sweat so far.
I don't even think, I'll be honest, that second shot didn't look like he was aiming anywhere near him.
Not even close.
It just full sprint spraying, but it works out. I think he does most damage to himself through the Molotov, and then it's just ridiculous. Manages to survive the round as well, and we are in the same boat as the last map. 5-0, EG running away with this. The early fights of Demon 1 still yet to die, by the way. And the ult's starting to build up for FUT. Maybe there's something they can send into this round. A Showstopper, Orbital Strike, a Viper's Pit for post. They can get into a position. Hot flashing through the smoke early in the round, but just look how passively the defenders are. They know what's online. They know the ults are available. They're not looking to get in those sort of fights.
Oh, that snake bite actually got very close to Cracks as the smoke went down. That could have been bad. Kiwi even got tagged up, down vulnerable. Now he's out with the Showstopper in hand. Jogamo again, able to take 2 before falling. The damage done with Kiwi and Cracks so very, very low. Okay. And looks like Maj just joined the club. Sure, they've got the site, they've done the damage in Viper's Pit. Now that could be the difference maker for Maj. 56 HP, staying alive inside of it will be a real challenge. He's managed to buy himself a bit of time, but there goes the Orbital Strike, and there goes the Viper's Pit. Cracks left on his own, and with a Sheriff in hand, he stands no chance of taking down the Demon. That is Demon 1.
Oh. Oh. How dare you? How dare you? Twitter's going to go wild at that one. Sorry, X, or whatever it's called now.
People are going to be reposting that all day.
Yeah, they're going to be reposting that everywhere.
They call it now.
6-0. Yeah, I was surprised they used the Viper's Pit. A bold call. I understand it. Maybe starting to feel a little bit desperate. Jorgamo as well. You could just see it. Every single fight he takes. It might seem risky, but he's winning all of them. Again, still 3 ults to play with. 1 for Com as well. That Viper's Pit maybe utilized to lock down Showers. He's set up there at the beginning of the round, but I'm more interested in Demon 1. 6-0. Still yet to die. And that's with, even with these risky pushes, he's even expecting the players on the other side. Timing, it's everything, but finally, he'll be put in the grave. Moj not falling for the same tricks as the last round.
Yeah, holding the pixel angle and finally giving him his first death. Demon 1 dealt with in round 7. But there's plenty more facets to this squad, and Jogamo being right behind you is certainly one of them. Oh. He's got his way up behind the entire team. He's spotted though. Cracks knew that he was there. Blast pack good though. Throws off Maj's aim, and with some support from Boost, he goes gone running through the wall. They managed to drop the spike. Got some decent control. A flash coming in, an aid on the back of it, and they are seizing control over this spike. It's not going to be given up, not today. Even running through a nade. They'll get Jogamo his 3rd of the round. Add a captain with a 1v2 to clutch out. Orbital Strike online, but he's stunned up. 1 HP, and around the corner he goes. He's made it out. And with a post-plant Orbital Strike, maybe he still has a chance.
Tagged by the Tiger.
30 seconds left.
I thought he was dead to rights. Very nearly was. He'll get himself into an afterplant. It would be one hell of a way to finally take themselves around, but he's up against Com. All reliable. Someone who has been devastating to them in the first map, repositioning in towards the defender's spawn, just basically waiting as he wraps all the way back around. The fact is, time is not on the side of Com. He can't really take this one slow because that Orbital Strike is going to buy a lot off the clock, and that's all that a captain is playing for. Just waiting those extra few seconds. He's going to get caught a little bit. He can't go anywhere near that snake bite though. And now the time ticking so low. At a captain, he can't move. He's got to wait for at least a second, but the time is already gone. He'll be able to win it. The 1 HP Red Bull clutch. And FUT finally have a round. Attaboy. I love these. They're great.
I had a captain. I don't know how he's gotten away with that one, but the first is on the board for FUT, coinciding with the first death of Demon 1. Jogamo put his back into that round.
He
oh
deserved
my
the round
goodness.
win.
He did. That not just that second kill, but here he sees a nade, hears it coming towards him, and thinks, "I'll just go running in. I'll take the fight." I think we all felt that. Well, a timeout's being called by FUT after that round. Sure, they've got one up, but they're looking for a few more on this attack side.
Yeah, I think it's almost maybe just having to calm the heart rate of a few of the players. A 1 HP clutch is not something you're going to see every single day, and it definitely wasn't a clean round. The scarier thing as well is tour de force available, showstopper as well for Jorgamo. Okay, it wasn't the most effective thing in the last round, but for now at least, for FUT, this needs to be the beginning of something and not just a straight reset back to round losses. As said, they lost that last map after an incredible comeback. And although I think no matter who they play, if they were to go into the cider, they'd probably be favorites. You don't want to leave that up to chance. A spot in the top 8 awaiting either of these teams for Evil Geniuses, an expectation for FUT. Hey, that would be a huge statement to make. The first Turkish team to do that in history.
Yeah, they're already accruing accolades game after game here at Champions. Still with that lower bracket beckoning them. Wouldn't be the end of their run. But imagine taking down Evil Geniuses, the #1 American seed, would be a huge accomplishment.
Oh, this is
ulti. Mr. Fallen's decided against it, but now they've seen the player close. It is going to go right back to that defaulted plan. And a lot of players caught up, but still Demon 1 is ready on this angle, and the shot, a rare miss for Demon 1. An opportunity for his opponents to capitalize on him with Ethan falling. They've just locked the defenders into hookah. B-side is theirs.
They know that there's a couple of players in here, but knowing and dealing with them is a different thing altogether. The problem is that no command online, the tour de force, isn't currently available. Krax is already going to pick off one, but they know who the other player remaining is. Moj on a nasty lurk is going to pick off Boostio. A chance for this clutch, a 2 versus 5. Looks slim, but the fact is the finances on EG are not bad. They could risk throwing a couple of players in here, but they might just back away to hold on to the guns.
Well, that might not be too easy. Let's check Maj's position. Demon 1 caught off guard. Ulti down, so too is the rifle. And the saving going to be very limited for the side of EG. This is a great response from FUT. I don't think it could have went much better in that round, especially Demon 1 having that whiff to start it off, missing the shot, then removing his ultimate altogether. That has certainly set them up for success. Timer ticking low towards the end of the round. That spike detonating as we speak, and they haven't found Kong. He's nestled his way into the bathroom. Rifle shall be carried through.
Yeah, a prime gaming flawless as well for FUT. The best possible way to actually break back into this one. Get the finances flowing once again. And as I said, for the other side of things, it's not really any problems. Demon 1 is going to invest back into that operator, so he'll have that for this round. Okay, light shields, but that's never really been a problem for anybody. And that showstopper still sits online, and that's the difference. FUT over the last couple of rounds have had some ultimates to play with. The Nightfall, no command used in the prior round, and again, we're going to see the aggressive flash. I like the fact that you can see Adacaptain actively backing away at this stage. He does have the spike, though, so that might be the reason.
Yeah, don't think you're going to want to go swinging in there, especially when you'll expect Demon 1 to be around every corner at this point. He's been repositioning round after round. This time just sat on back B site. FUT maybe sensing it. They're on their way to A. They've chosen the right site. It's lighter. The FUT setup from Maj going to allow them to creep up close. Not just the wall, but also the orb that's in play. And, well, Maj has just taken down Boostio. That's going to prompt Calm to get out of town. Move towards the spawn and play the retake with the rest of his squad, and that's exactly what he's doing.
An early advantage. Potential showstopper for the retake, but utility has been used to hold them back a little longer. A couple of flashes still for Krax. Unusual to see that this late into the round, so definite potential, but we are going to see the lamps being cleared. The timing doesn't work out, though. And a captain finding another Kiwi, ever crisp, and Demon 1 almost just having to look for exit frags. He's eventually given the fight, but Kiwi takes his head from his shoulders, leaving just Ethan to stop this one being another flawless, he will. But other than that, FUT, they have found their footing in this game, starting to build back in.
That's what it's all about on the attacking side, just finding your legs. They've done that. Oh, and they've done it by finding Ethan too. Although he'll be dropping out of captain, there's no one else to swing that corner. So again, the rifle brought through to the next round. With this attacking side now building up 3 in a row, I wouldn't be surprised it. Well, there you go. See, Evil Geniuses call a timeout as they'll gather themselves up ahead of this. I mean, look, it could be an equalized half if things keep going this way. And you're seeing Kiwi with the confidence to swing in, take down Demon 1, not even with the operator. Certainly worrying times for this squad.
Yeah, and I think it has to be said that expectations for this map in general is that you're going to see the rounds on that defensive side, similarly to Pearl. So I think making sure that this ends up as like a minimum, a half victory, but more so edging towards that 8-4, maybe even a 9-3. That's what the goal will be at this stage. Again, Seekers online, but nothing really else available, and with a showstopper close for Kiwi and him starting to really get going. It's interesting what we're going to see actually invested here. It doesn't look like it's going to be a full buy. The Tour de Force not even close to being online. And actually, since Demon 1 being 6-0, it's been 3 deaths in a row. Maybe the difference, him not being able to get those early kills and potentially even Jorgamo cooling off a bit, which in the early rounds, he was the main devastating force for FUT, was that he just didn't seem to die in scenarios where he probably shouldn't have lived.
I mean, he's still sitting 12-6. You got to say, it's been a good half for him so far. Jorgamo, a little bit more maybe needed on this defensive side. With 3 rounds left to play for, they're not really competing in this one. Now, look, we've seen EG win rounds with this kind of a bye, with worse of a bye, so don't count them out by any means. But they're opting to put most of the resources into round 11. Maybe try to close this one out on an 8-4 half. It wouldn't be a bad score. We'll see. As we said, still potential for them in this one here. And even with Demon 1 on the Classic, you know that Headhunter is in play. Not right now for 4 seconds, but after that.
It's patient, though, from FUT. Not overextending, not giving anything away. And with those smokes, the Brimmy smokes being burnt out over on that defensive side, they're basically just waiting, not wanting to get caught off. We've already seen the shenanigans of Boostio around this close position. Looking like just waiting to see if anybody will make a mistake. The Tiger going through, clearing out. It doesn't leave too many positions still available for them to be in, with the flashes going out long at the same time. Nice counter nade, but it's Jorgamo to take the majority of the damage. I think most of that was just off the Viper wall.
That same wall on the defensive side going up now to block them out. Jorgamo lost his life, tried to peek in for info towards the A site. And he's gone down with the wall still up. It's robbing them of info. EG might think that there's already players crept up on A, making their way in through the site, and well, they'd be right if that was where their minds went. Having fallen back a bit, Boostio sold that they're not still holding this angle, but Calm has got a spot of his own up top, hasn't been spotted, and he'll actually delay the plant. He's tucked away. Oh, not quite fully around the corner. Kiwi's able to deal with him, and it looks like that plant is going to come through eventually. It's not needed, with EG players flooding the site to deny the plant. They've instead lost the round before the spike can go down.
That is an incredibly cool idea.
I love
Just
it.
using the edge of his own poison orb up boosted on the top. That is not something I think any team will have been checking for. A nice little idea from Common. It almost wins them the round. Like, the time was getting devastatingly close. If he's able to just survive that little bit longer, maybe even get back around the corner, this could have been a problem. And bear in mind how low the purchase was. They got rid of a showstopper. That's not bad. Like, they burnt out a few weapons at that, although the finances of FUT are fantastic. And now they get that operator back into play, full purchase. See if they can now turn this into a round victory, because if FUT can even things up, they are definitely in the driver's seat.
Well, 2 rounds left to play for in the half. EG, as we said, are looking for that 8-round scoreline. They didn't fully buy up last round. They did some good damage, competed for the round, and even cost FUT some of their big ultimates, some of their utility. Now as we move into round number 11, this is where they look to capitalize on all the work done before. Very passive stance. A lot of the Sky utility from Ethan's being used to lock down control, even over Bathroom late into the round. We've seen the Tiger go through. But Ethan spotted players on B long this time. And that might put a spanner in the works for the side of FUT. They wanted to sneak up and get close. Now as they look to move in towards this B site, even with the knife thrown over on A, they're going to be expecting that this is a B play.
Yeah, especially with the flash. That's why these sky flashes are so vital. Just trying to find any information. 35 seconds left, and the nade will be comboed. Looking to come out hookah. There are a multitude of players waiting here, and now Ada Captain has been able to get that orbital strike online. Molly into the corner. They could just try and clear this player out of the tube, but instead, they're going to go doubling back. Demon 1 now about to be under pressure, just having to jump out of position. He can't quite correct the aim in time. FUT again, they're going to get their entry, and Ada Captain is just tearing this side apart. Kiwi so aware of the flank coming through as well. It is meticulous from FUT. These quick rotations, these split-second decisions have been sublime over the last 5 rounds.
Yeah, you saw the idea to move towards B. They get spotted. They pump the brakes a moment. Not sure where they want to take it. And after that flash comes through, I think they were all aligned. They knew the game plan. The fact that Ada Captain is able to not just drop Demon 1 after his first kill, the ultimate putting him out of position on an uncomfortable angle, but even deliver with the fight towards the spawn. That's the big difference maker, and it's put EG on the back foot for the final round.
I think the thing to focus on as well is how Mr. Fallen and Krax are constantly using their initiator utility to sell ideas. You'll see a knife land from the other side of the map. Prowler sent through one, but it's on a lurk, and then you just have Moj constantly placing in here. Nice work from Ethan, though. And he does have some support. He doesn't even need it. This man seems to be the master of the SMGs. It was the Stinger in the last map, the Spectre in this one. And after a 5-round streak, this is the best chance they've had. But Demon 1 will again go amiss as Mr. Fallen has managed to take him down.
But look at what the weaponry that EG have brought in. 2 judges that'll have to retake if they lose this B side. I mean, they've got to maintain control. Orbital strike in play, it's causing problems. Ethan's going to be dropped after the 1, but Krax went down to the ulti. boostio still holding strong on the side, buys them a little bit more time, and now it's those judges from before. The nade in good position, but he can't follow through. It forces him out of his spot into the open, but that's not good enough with a judge in hand. 4 bullets. Mr. Fallen needs to swap that over. He knows where that player is coming from now, at least, so the plant can be found. I like the... Oh. Sorry, I was going to say I like Calm's idea to reposition down through long and grab one of the weapons. Instead, he is going all the way around.
It's definitely the least expected of all of the options. I don't think there's any world where Mr. Fallen is watching back towards the spawn. This is the most 5-head play I think I've ever seen. There's no reason for Mr. Fallen to begin to check this, but it has come into his head that this could be the chance! I don't know how Mr. Fallen read that one, but it's the ace to bring this 6-6 on the half. The big brain IGL evening things up, and, well, a streak back from either side, but have leveled it at the break.
A 6-6 scoreline. This started out convincingly in EG's favor, and now starting to slip away an ace even to close this one out. As we said, the judges on the retake, they have a pretty big disadvantage. Even a classic in that final fight that leaves Mr. Fallen on 2 HP. It's a narrow margin, but that's the margin by which FUT get back into this game, tie it up neck and neck, and now move on to their defense. I think the pressure is most certainly on EG.
Yeah, we're going to be heading off to the desk, of course, for the halftime.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Bala, you all right? You good? That's how you feel right now about that game? Yeah? Well, let's take a look at the HyperX reflex real quick, because this was a certified jogger moment.
This was just so silly. It's not, I mean, that kill's fine. This one right there, that's just dumb. And he almost gets the last one because he had gotten he got the nade back. He was able to bank it off the wall. Ultimately, I think it was stolen by, it was boostio. Of course it was boostio. But that, I mean, that shot on the second kill is just silly.
Yeah, just ridiculous. But after all this, a 6-0 comeback after a 6-0 start is just crazy. I'm just mad at that final round. We got an ace from Mr. Fallen, and y'all ain't cheering. What's wrong with that? That's crazy, actually.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I felt like we should have at least had the ace. And he got 3, 4, and even the 1v1.
Just
we didn't get it.
crowd. That's just crazy out here.
I didn't didn't hear you, Chan either. Don't put this on them.
That's true.
Don't put this on them.
You've been one of the loud ones too, actually. That's real talk.
Yeah. So you're slacking there, Barley. You're slacking. But you know who's not slacking? Kiwi. I feel like Jogamo on his side is doing his job, but Kiwi is turning up here as well, dog.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's looked really good. You see it on your screen right now. And I mean, it hasn't been quite the Jogamo performance, but Kiwi was instrumental in getting FUT back to the position that they're in right now.
Yeah, he has been, but the job is not done. It is 6-6 at the half. FUT, if they want map 3, they gotta close it out. Mitch and Tom, let's see if they can.
Well, the map 3 certainly still a possibility with Ascent just around the corner. Defensive side for FUT, EG on attack shouldn't be able to net as much power as they did before, and 6 straight rounds. Let's talk about momentum. It's certainly in the field of FUT right now. So, let's see if EG can change things up, if their attack is where they'll find a lot more success. You never know after what FUT just displayed for us there.
Well, that's the thing with EG. They've been very good at when they need to pick up the rounds, they do. We saw the streak back in the last map, and they still closed it out in overtime. The last round is what they took, and instead, FUT could be set up here for a 2-0 victory if they'd managed to close out that comeback. Instead, though, again, a tentative start from either side, patiently watching for any aggression, but it is, again, passive, patient. Kiwi watching. Sheriff just trying to boom heads on the other side, and instantly all of the Viper utility goes up, the smokes raining down from above, and an attempted plant as the spam comes through, but it doesn't look like there'll be a denial this time.
Nope. No way to stop that spike from being planted. EG had some ideas to go aggressive afterwards, but they've fallen back into defaults. Nice crossfire to play with Jogamo. First point of contact, and then the swings come in, but he went a little too wide. No one able to trade out on that. FUT managed to find themselves a duel for free. Calm under pressure as well. Players starting to get close to him towards the bath. Now another for FUT, as they desperately try to hold on to control. EG are just being pushed back. Hardly any damage being done by this squad as FUT steamroll in the pistol and find a 7.
Yeah, they do have to get themselves the defusal, okay, you know, and Kiwi taking his time to go back and get himself that orb. Maybe surprised that he's the one who needs it, considering it's actually Moj to get the majority of the kills in that one. Well, having a little bit of fun themselves, but no, a big start to this one. We've seen both teams on that defensive side claim the pistol, and considering a Prime Gaming flawless from a 5v5 retake, it's not something that really comes with high expectations. Something else that might be surprising as well, though, is that with that plant, even with no kills alongside it, EG may be looking to break this trend of 7 rounds a little bit early. They have invested heavily, even though you might see a classic onto Demon 1, that is all in on Headhunter bullets, and the rest have gone for those stingers.
Well, they're certainly grouping up, trying to use the numbers advantage to their favor, but they've lost Boostio to begin. Jogamo down to 45, still able to get 2! You've got to be joking, this guy running around, grabbing a heal, somehow not dealt with there, and then he's looking to fight. Long range with a stinger on Maj. Now low HP, pressured from every which side. Still somehow clinging on to life, but that doesn't last too much longer. EG, 7 rounds in a row they lost, and this is the one that they come out on top in. It's thanks to Jogamo, who had been quiet for a while. Well, that's certainly reawakened him.
I think it is something that was beautifully brought up on the desk by Bala. It's the supportive flashbangs. The pop over the top here from Ethan that made those 2 of the freest kills for Jogamo. Sure, he still had to hit the shots, but when both of them are completely blind from a sky flash from above, there's just so little that they can do about it. And that trend is broken. A huge, thrifty victory coming through on that side of things. And now, while, again, it's going to be the low investment coming out from FUT, a real chance to finally get themselves a lead in this map, and instead now they're just getting mowed down. Com with a double. Not really a chance to retrieve any weaponry.
Man, look at that. The close is just as clean. What a resounding response from the Evil Genius side. The attackers building up rounds already. Interrupted the win streak of FUT. And most definitely upset them, putting them on the back foot now. They've got a full buy up on both sides. The EG squad might have some bonus material coming through, in particular Ethan just on that Spectre. They're going to be doing many of the same things that we saw from FUT, especially that Viper wall on A. It's just a key part. Nats was the first one to really bring it to the international stage. Everyone's been doing it since. That is ridiculous. Another tally down there in the crowd, please. That one was straight through the smoke.
Yeah, big start to the round as well. Bear in mind that even though the finances are great for EG, this still somewhat works as a bonus. A few weaker weapons in play, and the risk taken to get the orb definitely not paying off. Kiwi up top, up close. Something that you can definitely spam for. It's not going to be through a smoke, but it definitely could be through a wall if they are looking to try and clear this spot. The execution looking inevitable, and the information seemingly there. It's in with a showstopper and out of the round for Kiwi.
Not a bad trade, though, being able to take Jolgamo down just as the trigger was pressed. So FUT, they're behind only by 1 on the way back through. Post-plant setup is strong, though. EG grouping up inside of Lamps. That could cause major problems. Nade down in the corner. It's trying to clear out players into the open, but it's Boostio to find that frag instead. Great flash, but somehow they're still on top of it. Cracks and Mr. Fallen, both finding kills. The spike now can be tapped to bait these players into the open. Ethan will be caught as the wall drops, but not eliminated. Even with a Spectre, he wins out that fight. And with 40 HP, Mr. Fallen surely is down and out of this round. Great damage, but the time too far gone.
Yeah, he's just going to have to leave that one, unfortunately. He's been having a great few rounds, but it isn't quite enough. And again, it's another round on the board for EG. We said it. We expected this one to be the defender's paradise for FUT, but the early battles going in their direction and then just the effective trade-outs coming through. The weaker weapons never a deterrent for players like Ethan, and now sat 9-7 in the lead. It's looking like maybe a bit of a hero rifle onto Mr. Fallen, obviously saved over from the last round, and in fact he's going to hand that off potentially to another teammate, maybe just allowing them to get the extra shields. For now at least it still sits in his hand.
Oh, what a shot by Demon One! Another as he follows up, and he's standing strong, baiting Kiwi in for more. 3 quick kills. And EG have put this one to bed. The crowd demanding an ace from this man. You know what? The other 2 opponents are on the right side. Maybe he's got a chance.
Yeah, the rest of the team are actually pushing in the other direction. It just depends if there is going to be that rotation for him, just a chance to fight into this one alone, clean up the entirety of FUT, put them down as we've seen him do so many times before. A couple of players waiting, and he has the chance to fight them. There's the first on the battle, but it isn't going to be happening this time. And a captain takes him out, but he has made space for the rest of the team. Just going to be getting that plant, even farming up the extra orbs for the next round. It is methodical from EG, making sure that no stone is left unturned before they get themselves into this next.
There you go. Orbital Strike now online for EG. That'll be used in the next round. And for this, FUT certainly want to go for it. They've got the economy to throw away. They've got 2 rifles retrieved. Earlier on, this was a Stinger and a Sheriff. So with these upgrades, they look to charge forward, see what damage they can deal, and right away it's Jolgamo falling. Late flank from Calm. It's going to take quite a while. The plant spot not for it. Molly over already, and that orbital strike might be needed to close out this round, especially if the kills keep going this way. The swing through, and yeah, look, it's being set up. They're going to cost them an ulti already, which, look, it's better than it looked like it could be for this squad. They've even dropped Boostio on the way back out. The time ultimately too far gone, but the damage considerable.
Yeah, but that's been the main talking point of this second half, damage. Like there hasn't really been much else so far for FUT. They were put down very early in this round by some of the cleanest shots you're ever going to see.
Oh, the crowd's a little mixed on that one. Oh, we love to see it. Demon One certainly getting his confidence back. 14-9 right now. You've seen him with a far more convincing scorelines for himself. Maybe you can praise FUT for how well they've avoided him at times, but yeah, certainly not in that last round. And maybe not in this one. But Tour de Force online and looking for some victims early on.
Yeah, this is a scary round. Already hyper-aggressive. Seekers have been thrown through. It looks like they're just executing directly off the back of it! In the air, dropped down from above! Death reigns onto FUT in this round! And with a Molotov burning them out, this round is already looking over! 2 players remain once again. Morge and Cracks in a similar position to what we saw in the last round. Do they even go for this? It looks like they're attempting it while hiding within. He actually survived.
Just about, yeah, 7 HP, but that might deter you from going for this any further. Even the Viper's Pit down, well, it's online. It's not going to go down in this round, though. Not with that low of HP. Cracks has to open this one wide open for the squad, and he's caught Ethan. Okay, now there's an actual chance. They've seen the barrel in the corner. Demon 1 is down, and Calm miles away. They'll get this half before he even emerges around the corner. That's an easy kill onto the planter, just 1 HP. A fight now baited, but Calm, he is biding all the time they need. EG with another, and it's a Red Bull clutch for Calm.
The thing with this man is wherever you at least expect him to be, that's where he always turns up, never stays static for too long. He's so good at just switching up his position. You could see the players were watching back towards Hooker, expecting him to still be in that position. Exactly where you should expect him to be. But always repositioning, always playing the time. He's the exact man you want in those sort of clutch situations. And FUT, well, a last attempt to try and slow this one down. They have lost 5 rounds in a row, exactly the same as what we saw in the last half. It was 6 in a row before they really got going. The problem is they'll be fighting for overtime if it gets to that position again.
A ridiculous thing looking at Jogamo in this map, and certainly the previous round, you know, guy wasn't exactly playing the same role on the previous map. He couldn't do some of these flashy things. Yeah, the Astra slightly more, I guess, nerfing to a player than what you're going to see from that Raze. And I want to see a lot more of Jogamo on this. It's 11-7, 4 rounds in the lead. And one thing that EG don't have in their favor is the ult economy. FUT are still able to buy. They've got a showstopper. Got themselves a Viper's Pit as well and a null command. So in a good spot in that regard. But it hasn't been a game of ultimates, really. Even at times where Jogamo has that showstopper, you'll see him fire it into a wall, damage himself, and then shoot 2 people in the head the most ridiculous way imaginable.
Well, here we go, though. FUT still have a purchase, some ults to play with, but just look at the sheer pace, just leading the way with the judge. It's got to be infuriating. Not the start that they were looking for, but they've at least got rid of him. I guess that's the silver lining. The man who's been causing so many issues is dead in this round. A lot of information garnered as well. The knife connecting onto multiple players. You can see the jump spot out towards long as well. Maybe spotting for any lurkers, any rotation back. But again, EG is what they love to do on the attack. Just pausing, stopping for a moment before re-aggressing.
It's the Tiger that gets them back out there to try and take some control. They've spotted Cracks. The Viper's Pit, that's going to cut off, well, not fully cut off the spawn rotations, but certainly it's a big annoyance to them. And with the safety now around Lamps, it's a great spot to play from if they can get this spike planted. Now, that is a different task altogether, with FUT potentially having utility just like that to push them back. And they even have that showstopper later on if needed. 35 seconds. And again, they're waiting for a mistake to be made on the side of FUT. So far, that's not coming through. 30 seconds. They've got to move onto the site. Boostio can't get them the space they need. And now they look elsewhere, getting out through the teleporter and leaving the Viper's Pit to fall. FUT will have a 4 versus 2 retake, but there's no way to deny this plant.
No, that's at least something. Viper's Pit, of course, gone, expended on the other side, and this is definitely one of the best scenarios. Normally, Calm expected to be lurking back, but with no util, they're going to double up here. Know that they're a little closer around these angles and just lurker missed a fall, and it should be for free. Somehow Calm still managing to find one, looking for a little bit more, and they may have been low on health. but FUT will live to fight another day. Defusal coming through, a lot expended in this round for the Turkish side, but they will get themselves to 8, and maybe, just maybe, this can be the start of the build back.
That was a ton of damage done, but I like the idea on the way back through. Kiwi was like 39 health. You pop that showstopper, come around the corner, you probably don't even get a chance to see them, let alone readjust and fire. So instead just uses the blast pack to push out his teammates a little bit, get Haddocapped in a wider angle and triple peek it in a way where you just don't line up. I like to see that. Oh, I didn't see that for Jolgamo. He was playing anti-flash on the way through.
I know, he jumped backwards to kill Moj. I think he jumped over his head and then shot him.
Well, got taken down after. Look, this is, it's a hiccup for EG. These kind of rounds are going to happen now. It's their real chance. Jolgamo on the corner right away with the blast pack. They've denied them any B long control. They're going to just use the Tiger just in case somebody snuck back around that corner. And with that, they've got control over the orb, which is exactly what you want when Jolgamo is one away from a showstopper. That's what I thought. But actually, they're just looking straight towards the site. Get that orb from a fight. Jolgamo's being consistent with it so far. Boostio doing it for the first. But here's a showstopper on the other side. And low HP, Jolgamo on 5. The nade has hunted him down.
Yeah, Demon One's able to duck out of there, but the other players are left stuck around. Com's going to be spammed out through the wall as well. And now, well, we saw a crispy 3K earlier. He's going to need to find himself 50 seconds left. He's got time to play with, waiting for that Viper screen to fade. But there's still so much left to find. They know he's still around this angle. Look at to peek him all together. The band of brothers that is FUT will be able to continue this climb back once again. And now, actually, the money's run out for EG.
Yes, time to penny pinch. This is the round where they've got their showstopper. Can't see them committing it. See just how close that was to the double up, but yeah, well, the nade was there after the 2 kills. You're in a pretty comfortable spot. 2 behind. It's been an incredible matchup for FUT so far. They've been hot on the heels of EG, but that's the story of the game. They've been behind, only barely taking the lead going into Pearl, and, well, weren't able to close it out. You gotta hope it won't be the same story this time around. Pistols.
Same in this one as well. Take the lead from the pistol, instantly lose the second. They've
right away
had their hands ever so close to a map, but it's still a very real possibility that this could end up as a 2-0. We've already seen these sort of rounds work well for the side of EG, the SMGs. And the second, Jolgamo is actually going to use that showstopper, but denied immediately. The null command will remove the one real threat that was in this round, but there is still going to be that afterplant.
That's the thing, you know, EG have been scary in these post plants. Even with pistols, you got to give them a chance. Jolgamo not able to use his ultimate and will eventually go down. The rest of the squad now, you've got to wonder what else do they have. And I really didn't think we'd see that committed right now. The orbital strike and the showstopper used in a round they didn't fully invest into rifles for. They've got a molly for the post plant. Mr. Fallen goes down. He didn't get it half. That's a key detail because now FUT gonna really feel the pressure of that clock. Up close, Cracks is dealt with. Another for Boostio. The same molly and the snake bite down makes it so easy. They've done it. In a round where they had next to nothing, a MasterCard Thrifty is found, and EG are 1 away from taking the series.
Unbelievable. And even when it seems like this team have absolutely nothing to play with, the combinations of utility, the delay time was perfect, the Molotov, the orbital strike, you had the snake bites, the orb, everything combined, and then the shots connected by Boostio. It is understandable the frustration on the side of FUT's coach, because realistically this was the chance for them to finally get themselves back close to their opponents, and now they're close to a 2-0 defeat. A shotgun, a Viper's Pit used, that works, and an operator for Kiwi, but this is still not a good spot for them to be in.
A round up against pistols to put you in this position once again, but not having to win out 1 round to push up to an overtime, stay neck and neck. No, no, no. Much, much worse than that. 3 in a row against a squad of EG. They've done it with pistols moments ago. A showstopper used, got them nothing. An orbital strike delayed a matter of seconds. And it didn't even come down to the time in the end. For EG, this is a promising position. Tiger through, clearing out all of this space, and well, they have, oh no! That shot to Kiwi! That might just have sealed their fate, because now they should go rotating, drifting towards that other side.
Whoops. Oh, it's amazing from Jorgamo! I don't know if you'll see a kill like that ever again! He blast packs a Boombot and then spams him through the wall! That is ridiculous! And now, just leaving 2 players standing between them. Impressive stuff as they all wrap back around the orbital strike to delay, but it's left all onto Adacaptive. One man standing, and he stands no more. EG will take themselves into the playoff stage as they 2-0 this series.
I thought for a second there was a chance here, but FUT falter at the last hurdle, 13-9 and 15-13. America's #1 is #1 for a reason. They're looking incredible all tournament long. And now they've got some time to prepare. That's the scariest thing.
Yeah.
Give these guys a couple days to get better. I don't know what we're going to see.
I absolutely adore this team. Like, watching them play on so many different levels, the support player, I think Ethan has to be one of, if not the best support player in the world right now. Like, I think he looks incredible with all of the different flashes he's putting through. Jorgamo on Raze, I think if he's on any other team, he's playing Raze every game. It's just because he's got a teammate in Demon 1. It genuinely is so much fun seeing this team perform, but it has to be said, this time out, FUT were competitive. They like last time around, there was a blowout map and a close one. This time, both seemed like they could go either way. The Turkish team with fight left in them, so I'm looking forward to seeing them future in this tournament, and still a very good chance they make the top 8. But this is the team that deserves to be there, it's safe to say.
That last map, Jorgamo on the Raze, what a treat it was to watch. Even that last round, like you said, the little blast pack boom bot combo, wall bang headshot after. Doesn't get much better than that, really. And that is a team hitting their stride on the way to the playoffs portion. Looked good the whole way. But a new level hit here, and I gotta say, for FUT, yeah, they put their best foot forward, but now it's on to the lower bracket.
I think the thing that's so good about this EG side is you can pick plays, pick utility being used by every single player within the team. Like, be it from the cool post plants they had in some of their eco rounds, be it going back to the last map where you have Com pulling off darts that could be utilized for a million different reasons, using his ultimate. There never seems to be a poorly used ultimate, except maybe a showstopper every once in a while. It really is impressive how far this team has come under the guidance of someone like Potter. I don't know. I do feel like genuinely where this team can go is limitless. Like, they have already proven they can make it to a grand final. They've proven they can make it out of the group. No, I wouldn't say easily. Like, FUT gave them a run for their money, but they always had an answer to every single problem that was thrown at them, be it using SMGs to a degree that I still don't quite understand.
Jorgamo again.
But the fact is, they have made it. They've done what was expected of them. They were in a group that ultimately you go, okay, it's EG +1, and that's exactly what they've done.
And almost every single one of those plays as well, thinking back, it was never Jorgamo swinging into 2 with the stinger and grabbing free kills because the enemy whiffed. It was someone like Ethan.
Yeah, exactly.
Always had your back. His supportive utility was off
It's
the
another
damn
18
chart.
assists for him in this map.
18 assists, exactly. You know, the guy is participating. Look, he's one of the guys that's got to be on top of cast every single time.
Well,
and he's earned a spot.
The thing is as well, when I see that, like, on someone that's playing a controller, maybe I'll sit there and go, okay,
Yeah,
like, maybe someone walks through a smoke, but he's always doing it on the initiator, and it's always because of supportive flashes. And then he'll have rounds like this where he just almost takes over the game himself. It really is a joy to watch this roster, and as said, like, I wouldn't want to be coming up against them going further into the tournament, because it seems like they are constantly adapting, they're constantly pushing forward.
That's what it's all about, Tom. It's what this game is about. Can't be the same team you were last week. You've got to be better. You've got to be different. And EG certainly were here today. I got to say, yeah, once again, shout out to FUT. They put up a good series. Yeah. I came in today expecting EG to take this. Most people did. But I thought it would look a little bit more dominant, especially if it was a 2-0. They really put the fight to them. We could be going to a third map right now. if things were a little different.
Oh, yeah, especially with the fight back, the resilience that they showed, but ultimately there does just seem to be that little bit of edge. And, well, to hear a little bit more about that, we have got the wonderful Demon One with, I think it's Boy Golden. We're going to throw it over to him.
Boy.
All right, I'm here with the man himself. It's a Demon One. Give it up for Demon One, everybody. I wish I could shoot like you, because it's unbelievable what you were able to pull off. First and foremost, though, it was great to see you back on the chamber. I know you've had, like many rounds on that particular agent. Last time we saw it, it was at finals against Fnatic in Tokyo. And I guess now that you guys have had more time to cook it up, do you feel more confident? Do you think we're going to be seeing Chamber a bit more from you, maybe on some other maps, perhaps?
Yeah, we'll show you what you guys got. Definitely expect more Chamber.
Okay, I don't think anyone's mad about that. Am I right? Guys, what do you think? More Chamber? There was that one guy waving his head no. It might not be a Chamber fan. That being said, though, FUT definitely played you guys incredibly close, round after round. What was going on in that Pearl game after you guys, had wrapped it up? What were you guys talking about afterwards? Did you feel like you had identified what went wrong in that Pearl game that kind of led to the overtime?
We were just making a lot of mistakes, and then after the map, we talked about it, and then we were way more confident going into map 2 about it.
Yeah. Was there anything in particular that you guys were just like a little concerned about with FUT, or?
Not really. We were full confident the whole time. Yeah.
Did you? Now, I guess what I'm wondering is, I talk a lot of teams, and coaches, players, they always say things like, we don't, game plan for other teams. We don't prep for other teams. Is that what you guys do as well, or is that what you're going to give me as well? Do you prep for these teams? Were you getting ready for FUT? Because it felt like they were on a hot streak, and you guys just completely just turned that off.
It's mostly Potter and Boosty prepping and all that, and then they share information with us. But me, I'm just there.
You're just there.
Yeah,
you just want to shoot people in the head.
Yeah.
And that's it. I love that. Now, here's the thing. Speaking of shooting, you've been shooting a lot of bodies lately, buddy. Mm-hmm. You've been talking some smack online a little bit, buddy. So how does it feel being the villain, the new villain of Valorant right now? Is it something you're embracing?
Honestly, I don't give a fuck what you guys say about me. You can call me whatever you want.
Well, that was, yeah, sure. All right, we'll go with that one. Hey, well, you know what, man? Look, we're excited to see what you guys can do in bracket play. I'm actually wondering who you guys want to play in brackets. Is there anyone that you were like, give that to me first round, I want to go at it again?
Well, obviously, if we want to play Fnatic, that's like the only team we want to play. But obviously, we can't play in the first round because they'll be the upper seed as well.
Yeah.
But as a second seed, I don't really care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
It's all the same to you?
Just give us Fnatic.
Just give you Fnatic.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Give EG Fnatic. That's what they want. And what we want is to take it away from the stage. Back to you guys.
Demon One, we're on live.
Yeah, we can't edit that in the post.
I mean, he's called Demon One for a reason, right? He's a demon in and out of the server.
Yeah, and I think some of those rounds definitely showed what EG is capable of, and I think it's a lot of Demon One protruding that confidence that is giving the rest of the team as well that boost. And, I don't necessarily think that this was a flawless series from them. I think they definitely showed, that they have some weaknesses in this one, because, like, the moments that FUT is coming back in those series so many times, that's the type of thing that I was really happy with from EG in Tokyo. They had that killer mentality that was missing in this game.
And I think there were a lot of instances of that, right? How many instances in which did we see FUT put up, 5-6 rounds in a row on both maps? So there is a little bit of that I do think needs to be shored up. But honestly, this villain arc that EG are going on, I'm so here for it, bro. I think it's entertaining. It may be controversial, but if nothing else, this is fun to watch.
It's great to watch. This is the thing, though. They've made it out of groups now. My question is this enough, do you guys think? Is this enough to kind of prove that this is the EG that we saw in Tokyo as well? Are they going to make another run?
I think we've had enough proof about EG at this point, right?
Yeah.
I don't think this is proof of anything, to be honest. I think this group was fairly expected for them to come through. I don't really think that there was a real chance there was like such a slim, like 1%, something like that, that they wouldn't make it out. So I don't think this proves anything. I think they need to go on a run in playoffs. I think they need to get that match against Fnatic and prove that they're one of the only teams that could take maps off them, if not win, and challenge them actually, for them to really solidify themselves as, you know, a team in the top 3.
I'm going to counter him on that real quick, because the 1% chance you spoke about, I feel like is buffed by the second place curse. As we all know in Valorant, whenever you come second at a global event, Doug, the next one, you either bomb out or you don't even qualify. They tend to not get out of groups. I know from here, Optic here, when they ended up coming second at Champions, lock-in, bit of a weird format in terms of not usually what we see at Masters or Champions. So, Doug, are you saying that you don't believe in the second place curse, or are you saying that EG have broken it?
Oh, I think in this situation, it was borderline impossible for that to be the case. And I think it goes back to some of the things that you were referring to, Ball. The group was so favorable for them. And I think the important thing for us to consider, too, is we have a conversation around, well, are they real? Have they proven enough? Are they good enough to have broken the curse? Are they going to make a deep run? I genuinely think, to allude back to the Demon 1 interview, they don't care, right? Like, they don't care about what pundits are saying. They don't care about what the crowd is saying. Yeah, something like that. And I do think that when you talk about a game like this, when you talk about a tournament format like this, that matters. That's the kind of thing that ends up making a big difference.
I think that the circumstances have changed again for EG. I think, you know, we went back into Tokyo. We went through their Americas run, and we're talking about, like, oh, yeah, they literally have nothing to lose. They don't care. There's nothing that could happen that would be disappointing to them. And I think that situation has changed, and I think they put themselves in a position that they're setting themselves up to fail with the amount of, you know, the evil, like, the thing that they're putting out there, the villain arc, all that stuff. Like, I think that's a distraction, honestly. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love that teams are doing that. I love that people are embracing that. But I think it is a distraction when you talk about a run in a tournament like this.
I will say this, though. That was their mantra all of Tokyo. When they went into the tournament and people didn't know much about him, they were shooting bodies from day one. Boostio was walking out on the stage, flapping his arms like a bird, like from day one. So it's no different.
No, it is different. When you have a team that is literally set up to not do anything, when you aren't even making playoffs, when you're running off of just like pure, I don't know, just that momentum, all that stuff that is just miracle run energy.
Sure.
It's different now. They're expected to do something, and that's why I think it's the wrong play in my mind.
Well, I'll say this. I'll agree with you on this. I think the stakes are different. Their approach has not changed from Tokyo to the first day of Champs, and I don't see that going away anytime soon.
I can't wait to see what else they're going to bring to us as well, in-game and out of it too. But we do, we got to talk about some of the other games that are left as well, of course. It's not over. We got more coming to you guys tomorrow as well. There is a group we still haven't seen yet, and that group consists of PaperX, Crew, EDG, and Giants.
That's crazy, because I mean, Group D was the group of death this event. I think we were doubtful about it, and then DRX, Na'Vi, everybody kind of showed up in that group except maybe Loud.
Good.
But this group is so hard. I mean, PaperX is, in my mind, the second best team at this tournament with something playing in this roster. Crew just went on a crazy run. EDG is here. Giants comes out of EMEA LCQ winning that thing, and I think that this is a terrifying group for any of these teams.
Yeah, I think doing pick'ems, this felt like the most difficult one to predict. I think for a number of reasons. Yeah, we know what PaperX was like at home. Something hasn't played on the international stage. How much of a factor does that have? Yeah, Crew just went through an insane LCQ run, but it was against the bottom six teams of Americas. This is an entirely different ballpark here, right? Like, there are so many things that are going on. Are EDG still the world destroyers that they were before, right? Like, is Kong still the truth? Right? Like, there are so many things that I look at these matches and I go, dog, I have no idea.
I mean, we just saw what Billy did this today, so Edward is going to do some crazy things too.
They are gaming out there. They're gaming out there. I cannot wait. Thank you very much, you two, for joining me. Congrats, of course, to EG for making it through to playoffs. That does it for us here. We will see you tomorrow from the Shrine once again. But before you go, check out these Prime Gaming post-day highlights.
NRG are looking to hold a trophy over their heads yet again, but in their way is a team with nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's NRG versus Billy Gaming to kick off the day.
Som now has too many targets, but he deals with them so well. Snaps back to attention. Stunning from Som.
Struggling to pin down the first crashes and found one with a stinger.
Yeah, but Knight's on the case.
This is going to be Song to attempt it. So we'll throw the crosshair placement off, but the paint shell going to force him there. Knight actually finding an ace of his own, Lauren.
Then the paranoia and Victor starts working. That's the moment to strike. Pops the ult. He needs to get this, and he does. Oh! Forces Yosemite away! And now so low, though. Yosemite is still standing, still sitting pretty. Just waiting on that classic. They're so low. He's got a 1v1 to win. Victor, desperate to try and hunt him down. He can't get there in time! NRG stunned out of the server. Billy claiming map 1. As he can check the flank, it's fine. No, excuse me, hello. He does some good chip damage, but they're gonna need more. YZ. Oh, my heart is breaking. He's gonna get them all. Are you okay? Carve it into the scoreboard. Unless Crashies goes huge. He's desperately trying, and he's absolutely succeeding.
My words.
When NRG need it most, Crashies is there.
What did I say? I promise I win. I said it, bro.
It's a trap. Something is a trap. Turn. Look, the flash, the paranoia. Oh, it's devastating. Billy bait them in perfectly. The true upset of the day. The upset of the event so far. Billy besting NRG.
Zeta, they missed out on Tokyo, but what a statement it would be to take down the team that lifted a trophy in their home country right here, right now.
Enemy down.
Hey, he's already gotten a considerable amount. He's already more than halfway. Closer, get the ace, baby. The crowd's gonna go wild. No! Oh, it seems like, I thought they were gonna try to pinch, but Laz just plucks him out of the sky and he finds a second. You gonna clear this box?
For the spam.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Second satchel connects, and Alfear pinches from the other side. Not gonna happen. 13-5 in favor of Fnatic, and what an opener for a team that's currently pushing to win the Triple Crown. Leo with the understeer, as we mentioned, he had a shock to it. Alfear was on the pinch. He gets 2, he gets the 3rd. Leo gets the last, and that's a round for Fnatic.
It's so sus.
Oh no. You're absolutely right, it was. This may be pulled off. Sugar Zero and Def are the only ones up, and they are. They're gonna pull it off with a light buy. Can Alfear do this on his own? He's gotten the first. He's got to stop the plant! But Alfear with a massive Red Bull clutch for Fnatic. Durka looking for it all. He's gonna have to push past the Cosmic Divide. The 4th and the 5th. The faithful shall be rewarded. Fnatic take down Zeta.
What a way to end it. It's Durkin time.
This is for a spot at playoffs, for pride, for everything. One of these teams, if they win this best of 3, Bala, they're going to be going through to playoffs, and they will have 7 days to prep for it.
Both with Sheriffs hiding within this fight. But Cracks has managed to double, and Com will not allow the mischievous FUT to get away with anything.
Kiwi on an island, isolated, you would think, in trouble, but Maj manages to buy the time. He is decimating the EG squad. 4 kills found.
He's just trying to escape. Both players actually caught by the blind, but somehow he actually comes out with a kill.
With a couple nasty flanks. This time his timing is near perfect, and he'll catch 2 for his trouble.
At this point, he's been spotted. Now looks to maybe face back in the other direction, but he hits the shot anyway. It took some time for Evil Geniuses, but their map choice eventually goes their way.
Push up from Maj, the one weapon they have to work with now. A few more on their hands potentially, but Ethan! Maj will look to go elsewhere, but look who's there.
It's Ethan.
He's tucked away. Oh, not quite fully around the corner. Kiwi's able to deal with him, and it looks like that plan is going to come through eventually. It's not needed. But they've lost Boostio to begin. Jogamo down to 45. Still able to get 2. You've got to be joking. This guy.
Big jiggles, baby. EG will take themselves into the playoff stage as they 2-0 this series.
I thought for a second there was a chance here, but FUT falter at the last hurdle. 13-9 and 15-13.